Gentlemen in the mix.
So elegant about this little game. Nobody knows where the enemy is. It's in every one of their heads. Because they think they are. Try to destroy him. To save them. They'll destroy you. To save him.
Hello, traders. Welcome to the stream where the stock market has flushed pretty hard. Gold did too. Another bearish engulfing candle. Gold just had its lowest daily candle close since the 7th this month. Not a big deal, but it is kind of a big deal for the index funds. Bitcoin, it rolled over today, but didn't go anywhere lower than what we saw yesterday. So not that big a deal, but some of these altcoins, some are okay, and then some were starting to mark down again, like Ethereum, not looking good. But yeah, you can see on the 4 hour where Bitcoin's really kind of reacting a little bit is that 1272 fib extension. If you remember how I anchored that from the lowest low to the highest high of the entire 90 plus day large structure between 90K and 109K. That was how I anchored there for Fibonacci. And so you got one extension, 83.6. And that's about it. That's as far as we've really gone. So 1414, 80,000, 735, 1618, 76.6. No telling if we're gonna eventually reverse. You think after a move like this, after the 3+ days of dumpage, maybe we'd catch some sort of relief rally. It wouldn't get you out of the woods at all. You might at some point, because of just so much, like the oscillator's so cooked, you might catch a bounce, but I wouldn't count on it to be like a trend reversing bounce. I mean, yeah, tend to, when you break levels, even if you back test them immediately and start dumping, eventually on the daily you end up seeing stuff like this. But yeah, I mean, who knows when that's gonna start. But as you can see, right around the 200 moving average, we still have not tested that 200-day simple moving average. So close. But I guess if you stay sideways, the 200 will catch up with the price. But yeah, that's where we are on Bitcoin, man. It was way worse until Wall Street closed, and then the selling subsided. Futures closed briefly, and now futures are back open about 40 minutes ago. Okay, Bitcoin dominance, you might be surprised. It is really kind of flat today. Yeah, up 0.3%, and that's it. Still very elevated, 60.76%. Bitcoin futures, remember, we are just, Bitcoin futures was, look at the close there. That was the lowest daily candle close since the gap, since November 8th. So that looms, 77.4, lines up with that 1618 from the low to high of this, again, structure. Unfilled gap at 93,900, that's very real, but you might fill the one gap before filling the other. So 85K on futures. And we've never really spent any time here either. So it's just, we're always looking for inflection points that are historical in nature, good touches to assess an asset for managing risk, and Bitcoin's currently not doing that at all. So it's like you still, from a swing trader's perspective, you have to just be waiting. Okay.
Since we started out on Bitcoin, let's go further into crypto.
Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum, perhaps you've heard of it. Going for in 18 minutes. It'll be its lowest daily candle close confirmed since September 16th. And I tweeted about it today. Ethereum, since Eric Trump tweeted to buy Ethereum and thank him later, it's down 22%. So, and then yet 2 days ago when Ethereum was 2,500, he said to buy the dips, and the dip keeps dipping. Yeah, so what do these guys know about market dynamics and momentum? They don't know anything really about it. So there wasn't really an edge. There hasn't been an edge in crypto for a while. You've got, you've got a couple question marks on some M shapes that have certainly completed. No one's going to argue with that. I mean, a lot of these loser S coins do have M shapes, and they're just still sitting at those price reversal zones, but they have not reversed. They're just sitting there, hanging around, pulling a Beetlejuice. Okay, so not good on Ethereum. Ethereum paired against Bitcoin. Continuing, I mean, just, well, it's holding 2.7 million Satoshis. It's a level from history. What level? Let's look. It's just a swing low back from September 2018. Kind of a reversal area from 2016. Reversal area 2020. It's been kind of support before 2020 a couple times. So it's just sitting there. But I mean, look how close you are. You are so close to just putting in the lowest daily candle close in years. You're just going to be rivaling the lowest lows, February 7th, the 11th, and that's it. I mean, it'll be the third lowest daily candle close by a hair. So really bad, like terrible. And if this level breaks, you know you're going straight back down to 2.47 Satoshis. So in the end, just this button's starting to get really worn out.
Very bad, boys. Very bad.
There's bears out here.
Is the audio good? Is the stream on? Make sure we're here. Let's look at chat for a second before we get too much into things. Rainy days, yeah. I mean, the thunderstorms, we've had multiple days in a row of violent thunderstorms. As you can see currently, you know, that's the 1990s Weather Channel GIF, okay, of the conditions. That's what we're in. So continuing to storm. And it's kind of picking up too. You get much worse on the stock market, we'll be throwing out that tornado overlay. And no one wants that. So this isn't even the main story of the day. You know, we'll look at the big cryptos, and then we'll start going to stocks because that's the big deal. Okay, XRP is flat today. Yeah, I've got some alerts set up on these. Just, I mean, it's controversial, 14 minutes, but if it closed as is, it'd be the lowest daily candle close since December 31st, so the lowest close of 2025. You know, if Bitcoin goes down any, that'll happen, maybe not, but it's not really a strong candle after bearish engulfing. I find no confidence in this. I would be waiting for 190 to reassess. At 190, I'd be looking for violation, recapturing, reconfirmation. I'd be looking for structures to develop here, but I just, right now, risk management wise, you cannot manage your risk via technical analysis, I don't think. And even if you could find a level, what edge do you have? You have nothing that implies that a reversal is coming, even if it did. So what? You're just going to play the roulette table? Fine, go ahead. That's just, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go into a casino to play the games. You want to go in the casino, you want to learn poker. So if you ever go into the casino, you always have a game you can play and you can win. You can give yourself an edge anytime you play that hand. You fold a bunch of hands, you find the one, you got the edge, you got the position, you got the stack, and that's it. And that's swing trading. So it's like, hey, you can participate in the financial markets all you want, but you remember, 99% of the time, you're just going to be flipping coins and spinning wheels, spinning balls, whatever. It's all crap, except one game. So anyway, that's XRP. Cool. Flat on the day. Solana up 1.59%. Like it matters, man. I mean, yes, you have finally collapsed down 55% in 36 days. It has been a rout of all routes of the big boys, the big market cap cryptos. And you are sitting at a level, a zone. You're not even at the bottom of the zone. The bottom of the zone is like 123, 124. So if things don't pick up for Bitcoin soon, then you'll be seeing the bottom. You'll be making fresh lows. I would say after such a nasty sell-off, That's not really good performance. You're just, wow, they finally run out of supply of Solana, so the selling pressure has kind of subsided some. But it doesn't mean you have an edge. You got to wait for structures to develop at inflection points. So, you know, the first thing, you got that going for you. You're kind of hitting supports, at least some part of the support zone, but you don't have anything. You're still impulsing. And you could react off this level without an edge, and that's a scalper's dream, and then probably just make a lower high and roll over again for a retest later. So, cool, dude. Destroyed. I mean, this market destroyed. Pump.fun, or whatever it's called, it is almost completely done. Like, there were like thousands of new scam coins being listed at the peak daily, and now there's like 100 a day or less. The ecosystem, the scam losers have all left the market completely. Yep, this is what happens when you deregulate fraud and scams. Dave Portnoy jumps on. Adam 2022, the Garcia boxer guy. It's Trump, Millet, all of them. Hayden Davis, they're all just committing fraud. And when that happens, the karma should be destroy the market, kill it, end it. Everyone should lose. This market should go. We should go into some stupid downtrend that lasts a while. Yeah, we should. We deserve it, just like 2021. Oh yeah. Pictures of rocks going for $1 million. Fake yachts in Decentraland going for $1 million. Sam Bankman-Fried, Doge, all those losers, man. We deserve it. Okay. So send it lower. And I'll tell you, send it lower. Now, this may not happen, but when you're below 620, 638 on Binance Coin, history tells you a lot of times what happens. Just recently, what happened on BNB when they broke 620 straight down to 500. So at this point, I would think if you're below the 200 moving average in 621, you have a valid argument to believe 500 is coming again. It's about 15% downside, 16%, whatever, from where it is right now. You can't really feel good about it. Hey, look, dude, if new data comes in and buyers recapture all these levels, okay, let's talk about the new data that would change the argument a little bit. But until that happens, you cannot like Binance Coin below all these resistance points. You just can't. So you just got to say hands off Binance Coin till back above at least 640, and then we'll talk. It'd be a little bit better, but for now, very, very bad. So again, just gonna wear it out until it's broken.
Very bad, boys. Very bad.
Yikes. Okay, BNB terrible. I mean, for now, below that level, it's not good. Just like Solana, below 190, you have to be bearish. You have to be. Bitcoin below 90K, you can't be bullish. XRP, remember, below 265, you cannot want to own this because we know the downside potential is so massive due to historical price action between two levels. That level that they rejected twice and the level that it ran to after it reversed there. Oh, okay. So look what's happening. Oh, history's just repeating itself. You're not quite there yet. It takes time. But this is what I'm saying, man. Let the levels be what dictates, do you want to own the asset or not? And that's like discipline. Okay, BNB, we do not want to own it below key levels. This is kind of where Binance Coin is right now compared to its own respective levels. Okay, it's just hanging around after failing to break key levels, right? All right, just hanging around below the key inflection point like a joke. Actually, bearish engulfing candle catching a fall through candle today to confirm its validity. Dang, that's just awful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So that's the big cryptos. Does anyone care about the big cryptos maybe. We can look at Dogecoin up 2%. What? Bear market over? No. God, no, man. I mean, hey, at some point, if the selling continues to stall, you might get bullish divergence on the MACD. It's too early. Way too early to say that. And the RSI is not giving you any help. It's just complete bearish convergence. What you'd really want on the RSI is something like this. Oh, we get a little rally, and then, oh no, we dump to that third target of the short trade setup, then we get something like this. Picture perfect bullish divergence on the daily. Then we could start talking about sellers being exhausted, but they're not. You're just kind of cooked on the RSI. You're just oversold. That's Doge, whatever, dude. Hold on a sec. Y'all hear the music? What the... Okay, yep. So, let's look at total. Sorry, dude. Jonathan, how we doing, man? Jonathan, wellness check.
I like turtles.
There's bears out here.
I have some evidence Van Bear Pig could be in this area.
Just trading right around that 200-day moving average. And you are just kind of you're right at that swing high from March of last year. That's about what it's holding on to. But not really a resounding candle, kind of an indecision candle after nukage, which might imply that, this is like a day of digestion of the past 3 days, right? Market participants are like, okay, so what's going on? Any buyers? Anyone want to buy some crypto? And then this candle's kind of representing, still no one wants any of this garbage as the short-term oscillators reset, 60-minute, 4 hours, start getting out of oversold territory maybe. And then, maybe we rally again at the beginning, and then we dump again. Because this candle is just not representative of anything that is anything like bullish or reversal implied. Your RSI not playing ball, just again oversold. Like, remember, total lowest relative strength reading since August. Negative momentum building still, so you can't even say bullish divergence till you start losing a lot of it. It's just, it's gross, man. It's just gross up here still. But that's not even what we've just discussed. Is not even like what was the big deal today. Right, crypto rather tame because it was front running the big sell-off earlier this week, throughout the week. But the big thing was the S&P 500. The gap has officially filled. We've been talking about the gap, man. 584, what's up?
Sharknonymous dipped $25. Legal Zoom making moves. I know it was early last time I mentioned it. But can we look at LZ now that we're just gonna access attorneys? Thanks for all you do. Folded hands. Oh, and if you got time, Bombardier do is interesting.
Bombardier? I have in the chat for Bombardiers. Do. Sharknonymous, thanks to 25. We can look at Legal Zoom. Sorry. I haven't even... That's my first sip of coffee. Irwin coffee is simply the best. So, yes, the gap filled. We will look. Thank you for the 25. I don't know. It depends. Like, I think the gap still hasn't filled. I think, look, man, when you gap up, right? What's the definition of a gap? Like, it would be it closed the day, January 14th at 582, and it gapped up from that close. So people will be like, hey, it filled the gap because it hit the top of the candle wick. But it's like the gap, though, I think, is where the traders settled up the day of that low before the gap, right? That's just my critical thinking here. Maybe I'm stupid, but I think 582.56 would be a more clear and undeniable form of gap fill. So maybe a little more downside. But yeah, I mean, if they can't hold the gap fill, then it's a quick ride back down to 575. They are trying to hold on right now. I mean, not really holding on. They closed kind of below it today. The swing high from October 17th, my birthday. Nice. Birthday resistance. And then kind of a support. They did close right at this November 18th low. So that was the lowest daily candle close since mid-January. So we're talking about 6-week lows on the S&P. And yeah, I mean, you can't be surprised. It was just exhaustion, looked real, and now you're starting to catch the follow through, but the follow through hasn't even really resolved yet. I mean, it's so what if they pivot here and we put in the highest low in human history on the S&P, like a major one, right? They could do it. But yeah, after 1 and then 2, and on 2 there's confirmation. Yeah, you would think a 200-day simple moving average could be in store, 570. I think that would be normal, common, right? 10% correction would be fine. What are we only down off the highs? We're only down 5%, so double it, and then we're talking about a real correction, not a joke. 10% correction would take you. This would make the most sense, I guess. A 10% correction is 550. And we get those. We get 5% corrections. Man, look, right here, high to low. That is a 10% correction in about less than 3 weeks. And there wasn't really an edge up here outside of the triple bearish divergence on the MACD histogram. There was no structure. There was nothing so formal like we have right now. This is so powerful. We'll see, though, right? So just give you an update. Dow Jones, that 886 M shape. Still catching follow through off of that. Nice. Lowest daily candle close confirmed since January 16th. 6-week lows, roughly. You would think, well, they're trying to maybe, they broke it. They broke this 43,300 high. They closed the day below that level. So below that level, I would think 42,300 in chat. There it is. There it is. The daily candle has closed on Bitcoin. If you look at total real quick, a big old green nothing burger candle, indecision after 3 days of nukage. Any buyers? No. Well, that's not good. Yeah, the new day. The new day. Real quick, we'll go back to Bitcoin just for a moment to look at the close. It is not any sort of Japanese candlestick reversal, and it's not really happening at a key level. And you still haven't even truly tested the 200-day simple moving average. You're just hanging around right at that 1272 fib extension. That's 1272 from this low to high of the 90-day structure. You're sitting at the first extension, 83.6. That's it. You got 3 targets. You want this first target, second, third. But hey, at any point, I mean, they could just start running this thing for a retest to 90K. I think that'd be in the cards no matter what, whenever. If we fill the gap at 77K first, then we run a 90K, or we just start doing it sooner. But yeah, you just don't really have the daily oscillators on Bitcoin just look terrible. It just sucks. It's like there's no chance that you're getting bullish divergence on the MACD, and there's no chance of RSI bullish divergence. Last time we got bullish divergence on Bitcoin, it doesn't happen. It's so rare. July 2024, we had identified it, and it did give us a nice rally, low to the lower low. Got a big rally before one more flush. And the last time we saw it before that was like 2019 or something stupid. You just don't get daily bullish divergence. So that's a good thing, probably. Yeah. Because that means like Bitcoin doesn't have to have daily bullish divergence to reverse most of the time. So good. Because if it did, we'd be screwed. Okay. So there's your Bitcoin. Meh. Then Ethereum, lowest daily candle close confirmed since September 16th. Get wrecked. Solana did not do that. BNB did not do that. XRP did not do that. Ethereum, the worst of the big ones, right? No other. I mean, Solana got wrecked, but at least it didn't. I mean, Solana saw its lowest price since September yesterday. So Solana and Ethereum together, trash. Technically trash. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the index funds. We look at Dow Jones, look at the NASDAQ. I mean, the least surprising thing known to man, right? You complete a W-shaped extension pattern, 1414, and then we were here like with a microscope discussing the failure to break the supply line. Microscope. There it is. We did it. We failed. And the consequences of the failure to break a level where there is supply. There was too much supply. The buyers relented. And look at the markdown. Lowest daily candle close confirmed on the NASDAQ since November 5th, since the election. Round tripping the Trump pump. Gap fill still not fulfilled, right? You have not filled this gap, 18,441. That is, right? That's kind of, all right, if you can't hold 18,653, you're going to fill the gap 18.4. Well, you might be there by tomorrow. The 200-day moving average just below that 18,367. So, and another target area, if worst came to worst, right? Another unfilled gap at 17,575, which would be from the low to the high around a 61.8% retrace, which makes plenty of sense. So that's some serious follow through ongoing. Or think about the NASDAQ, where it was on the 21st. In 5 trading sessions, NASDAQ down 7.4%.
Just close the fucking door. Close the door.
Can devs do something? Every day I'm checking the price and it's dipping. Every day I check the price, bad price. I can't take this anymore. I have overinvested by a lot.
IWM lowest price seen since September 12th. And an unfilled gap, chat, they always tend to fill eventually. Unfilled gap 211.64, they have not filled it. You thought they might today, they didn't. So here's your target area, and 211. I guess you could say that gap filled 208. So, but on deck, outside of a gap, would be just 209 support resistance. Yeah, this is what happens. You fail to break resistance. You put in a lower high, representative of less market participants involved with the asset than before. And now you're marking down below the 200-day moving average. You break 209, yikes, 201, 199. Yeah, hidden bearish divergence resolving pretty nice. The high to the lower high bearish back test. Dude, I can't believe this guy is just literally speaking of reality. I can't believe him, dude. He's so negative. Those are your index funds. You want to see how bad it is on the Mag 7. Not so mag today. How about the Bag 7? Holding the bag. This we discussed $140.75 in the gap fill. It was mandatory. If they were going to go test that level, fill the gap, it was mandatory that they broke that level and continued higher. If they didn't, very, very bad boys. Right? The classic distribution structure matured after a few days of testing that 140.75 level. And now you see the markdown. Earnings, oh my God, it's up 2% pre-market. They opened at 135 and collapsed. Closed down 8.48%, going for a 118 test again. And if you don't hold it, see you down at $100. The rising wedge broken still, remember? Hidden bearish divergence being respected very well now, as you're now building negative momentum off of the hidden bearish divergence. It implied, chat, it implied a continuation to the downside. And what happened? TA was respected, even with earnings. So that is a nasty Marabazoo. That is a perfect Japanese candlestick pattern. The Marabazoo, which means scalped head, meaning no wicks on the top or the bottom. Complete seller domination from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Now it's up 1.3% after hours, shorts covering, whatever, bots. But not good. I mean, that is terrible. And the weekly's brutal. Like, you can just see another perfect bearish test, right, of that level and rolling over. And remember, this is all coming after extreme amounts of bearish divergence. Negative momentum building. NVIDIA it's right now, NVIDIA, the highest level of negative momentum we've ever seen on the weekly. Right now. RSI, 45, so whatever. But amongst the lowest readings since January 2023, so almost 2-year lows on the RSI on the weekly. Okay, nice. DeepSeek, Tesla broke key supports. Big yikes, the sell-off route continues. 6 days in a row of devastation, technical devastation. Down 22% in 7 days. Oh my God.
Can devs do something?
Why technical devastation? Some sort of demand line of a structure snapped. They tested $300, a key inflection point from history. Undeniable. It's so effing real. Snapped like a hot knife through butter yesterday. Caught follow through with a bearish back test today. See how they... Oh, it was support resistance. Just kidding. It is confirmed resistance after the break with candle close confirmed yesterday. Wow, holy crap. You haven't even tested the 200 that's right below you at 278. Again, they gap fill target is probably 250. 260 is a, it's a level, like a historical inflection point, support, resistance. Been an old target of a trade setup back last year. Look at this reversal here. So that would probably be on deck, 260. Unless, right, unless or until buyers recapture 300 and then reconfirm it as support. And then let's talk about some really good data. But we don't have it right now, and we have to wait and sit on our hands until something new develops. It's not good right now. Okay. It's not Musk, man. People don't like Musk, dude. Read the room. A lot of them, like, assets across the market are getting wrecked like this. So we can all blame it on Elon or Trump, but gross, dude. Gross.
No way. No way. What is this garbage?
Amazon down 2.62%. Nasty red candle. Lowest daily candle close confirmed since November 29th. Lowest close of 2025. You fill the gap, I guess, on the 25th. But, man, that is... For a hammer like that, this is bad. A complete invalidation of the hammer. Right at that heart line of this long-term uptrend we've been in, right? Wow, holy crap. Long-term channel. Heart line, you don't hold it. It's an easy $200 target. I mean, another $874 to lose. Easy. And then you test that, and maybe something good happens there. But I don't think you'd want to hold on. You would want to wait on Amazon for this 198, 200 level, because the 200 moving average is going to probably be at the $200 mark by the time we get there. There is nothing on the oscillators that imply that sellers are exhausted yet. It's just gross, man. Google, lowest daily candle close on Google since November 25th. Busted that gap, sitting at some support resistance. It's there, but that's where they closed it at. No real bids came in. If you don't hold that, straight down to 163, 160. Beautiful to see this shark play out so well. Wow. Did they 50% it yet? Low to high? No, yeah, they're exceeding the 1618 here. So yeah, 160 might be on deck. Dang, man, nasty. Very nasty for big tech. We okay, chat? Everyone okay? Right, I don't like coming here on when the circumstances are such, but it's just reality. And we had some really fun times during the big runs up. And now we have to deal with the sell-offs because people take profit. Assets get too extended technically and they need to pull back. They need to fill gaps. You know why? Because there were no structures. Only bear structures. Only structures implying we need to pull back. And the good news is when you have big sell-offs and pullbacks, opportunity can present itself again. But you got to wait and wait and wait until what? You got to wait until new structures to develop. This was a trade setup posted in February, March of 2023, and all the targets got hit. But it took a whole 10-month downtrend for there to be any opportunity, and you finally got it, and that's what you're looking for. Just like if you flip the chart over, would you want to own an asset that hits a resistance 2 times and then you get the third peak locally, a form of confirmation, breaking a demand line? You would never want to own something like that, or you go short. Same thing. So you cannot have opportunity on the market when assets are so overextended. So these things have to happen, and it's good that they're happening. I don't care what you say. It cannot go up forever and shouldn't. Unless you want a 2000 style bubble, and then it took a decade plus for all those NASDAQ stocks to get back to their 2000 highs, an entire lost decade for tech, big tech. Meta, after a nice day yesterday, completely devastated, down 2.29%, bearish engulfing candle confirmed. In fact, you did not make a lower daily close than you did on the 25th. Huh, funny. But that's covering the previous candle. Nothing good about that. 632 target, I guess, for a test. You haven't done that ever. Microsoft, really bad. Microsoft, lowest low, lowest close of 2025. We hate Microsoft. We've hated it. Remember Bill Gates has man boobs, moobs or whatever? Yeah. Lowest daily candle close confirmed on Microsoft since April 30th of last year. So 10-month lows on the close. Disgusting bearish engulfing candle. Negative Momo building, RSI at its lowest level since August of last year. Not in the bearish control zone, but not oversold, so more downside. Really gross, man. Just gross, but made sense. We were talking about yesterday. It looks like last point of supply. Looks like distribution, a different type of schematic than the up thrust after distribution, the weaker one. But this still looks like last point of supply crap. And look at this big sell-off occurring. You got to wonder, I mean, breaking this 388 level, you could be looking at a 350 Microsoft. It's not disdain. We're just speaking about reality. People misinterpret bearish or not good with negative. And I'm not being negative. That's just your interpretation. I'm sorry. That's how you perceive things. But these are just things that are happening. Okay. Is it me being negative, just reporting to you, the viewer, that Microsoft made its lowest level since April 30th of 2024? Or is it just reality? Okay. Just making sure. Apple down 1.27%. Okay. This is where you start getting a little worried. Okay. Do we have this little, distribution confirmed situation? You break 237, quick ride down to 220. Yeah, this is now an argument until buyers capture 250. Really, all they did was go up and fill a gap. They're referring to my personal attack on Gates. Him having man boobs is actually an attack? Or is it not reality? You go Google pictures of Bill Gates. Okay, all right, fine. Elon kind of has like a gut, all right? Man boobs, too, kind of. Not in shape. Does that make me impartial now? Or partial, whatever. Partial to people. Is that a pickle? Do we have a pickle in the chat? What's going on, man? Okay, there your magnificent 7. Bagnificent 7 currently. People holding the bag. But wait, there's more. Yeah, like the big tech, like, or just look at the semiconductors. Looking real bad, man. Hold on. Let's go back to futures, the quad screen. All right, you know, kind of flat. So, yeah. For instance, okay? For instance, Micron. Well, we should, after this one, we should look at MicroStrategy and Coinbase. Okay, so something really bad happened today on Micron Technology.
Technology.
93.34 broke. $96 broke. It's a zone of inflection. Bearish convergence. But what is 93.34 to $96? It's not just the 2021 peaks. It's not. It is also the 2000 peak. Remember 2000? Yeah. So sellers have captured prices below that ungodly real level, right? No one in the world would argue with that. That happened today. And so before that, though, there were subtle signs of weakness where I think a range was established at 109.67 to 111, okay? That first peak created, and then price action just correlated to it with up thrusts. Perfect test, right? You know how real it is. But the subtle sign of weakness was this last attempt from buyers this month. They pushed the price to go test the 200 simple moving average perfectly. But there was such a lack of demand from the buyers that they could not rival this 109.67 level again, as they had been doing for 6+ months. Not this time. What's going on? Lack of demand. Sign of weakness. You sold off from there. You rallied and kind of put in this tweezer top. That's tweezer top looking A. And then it got real bad later in the day. And then that's, you know, we're looking at a short trade setup on this. And then it got bad, and then wow, closed at the lows of the day, down 6%. Shoot, man, we were looking at it was down 2.3% or something. Got wrecked. But anything below 93.34, 95, 95 is a no-brainer. Just wait for it to flush to the low 70s. Yeah. So it's like a distribution structure now with that evidence. And again, this argument would be completely invalidated if buyers ever retested 110, 111, broke it, right? Because it's about the data. And all we have is this data. Do you see on screen? And I constructed an argument via the data that we have now. If new data came in the coming weeks, it could invalidate my argument. But until invalidation, completely valid argument, and we could be setting up for way lower prices. I mean, you got to think about it here. Well, what a freaking run from 2022 all the way to the blow off top June of last year. And you had a huge sell-off. I mean, that's blow off top behavior, certainly. And this is all they've been able to do since August, 6+ months of attempting to rival previous highs, 130, 157. They couldn't even come close. So it might be time to find more buyers at lower levels. That's the thought process behind this. And we understand, right? Like after big run, low to high, blow off top. I mean, look, you've been oscillating and holding a 618. Yeah, 618s are short-term rally levels, right? But after this consolidation for so long, that is not like the true bottom. The true bottom's coming at 786s and 886s. And so a 786 confluent with a support, like a target for the setup, 7150 down here. It's just a zone of inflection. Below that 886, around $60, that's another big support resistance zone. And then you start completing M-shaped stuff. Oh, it makes all the sense in the world for Micron to eventually reset down there. And then guess what? Value, based on technicals, value perceived areas. That's where people would be licking their chops. Oh, an 88% sale on Micron? I might buy that. Might take a stab at that at $60. But for now, it's just idiolated price action. It's been idiolated, man. Okay, so that is the thought process for patrons, people, Citadel. I gave like a 2-minute voice memo on it, but that's how I'm looking at it. So it could fail, All right.
George Harrison tipped $25. Mayor of Greenbow. How many bears are in the skyline of the metropolis of Greenbow? Smiley face. Keep telling the truth, Mitchell. And I don't care what anyone say. Gates says man boobs. Anyone who doesn't like it can eat bugs. Keep up the hard work. Thank you.
Yeah, George Harrison, thanks for 25, Matt. There are a lot of bears out there. They got on their night vision goggles, so I can see them well. Okay. Countless bears in Greenbow. I will keep up the hard work. Don't eat the bugs, okay? You might be eating the bugs if you and Micron and understand what just happened. Okay. But there are others out there that are just not good, man. I didn't even look at micro MCHP. Oof. The bear trend continues. Nothing about this is bullish. 5605 going to be tested again in the coming days. And if that doesn't hold, oh my God. I don't know. They could take it down to 52 again, but this is real bad. There aren't going to be many semiconductors or semiconductor adjacent assets that are looking good. Like, AMD, what it did, it fell below $100 today. Texas Instruments was real bad. I think we looked at this on stream. We went through the psychology of this too. Yeah, okay. Texas Instruments. Okay, so that's like a liquidity grab, stop loss hunt probably for short sellers. But now it's set in stone. Like what was once an old resistance from 2021, the zone, snapped it so hard today, down 3.5%. And when you do stuff like that, that's where you have max downside. That's where you look at an asset and say, dang, dude, I could definitely see this coming. I mean, it'd take a while, but I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually get something like that. And guess what? It hits an 88% retrace, hits a key support. Oh, holy crap, dude. That's what we wish we could have. We want stuff like this. But what have you just recently done? You had the highest high, no doubt about it, November 12th. But what have we done since then? You put in some lower lows, and now what? Here's one peak lower than this high, and now we have a form of confirmation that there are less market participants involved with this asset than what we had in November, than what we had in August, than actually what we had in July of last year. So that is, you are, and below the 200 moving average to boot, that's a form of confirmation, and that's, you're asking for way lower prices. Gap fill for sure, 185, 186. But you just know what could be on deck. This is what happens when you fail to break key resistances after so long. They keep trying, and then all of a sudden, there's less than before. Yeah, you buckle up. Should be ready. Guess we could look at that request or whatever. Or should we? But Oracle? Dude, Oracle, this thing's done. I think you're probably done for a while. The distribution, the lower highs, gap fill happened. Both these gaps filled. Oh man, that distribution's disgusting. I think you probably got a target of 153 on this. What a run it's been, dude, but they're offloading now. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many assets that are wrecked today. Oh, we didn't look at the Qs, which same thing, man. Wow, look at that. It's so perfect. You can't even make this up. It's so perfect, dude. It's beautiful. Lowest daily candle close on the Qs since November 15th. So 200 moving average on deck, gap fill at 492. That's your target. Lowest relative strength reading on the QQQ since August 8th, and currently sitting in the bearish control zone.
Technology, what is that all about? Is it good or is it whack?
It is extremely whack, but beautiful. All right, Russell 2000 futures currently trading at its lowest level since September of last year. As I'm speaking to you, Dow Jones Industrial Average futures currently trading at its lowest level since January 16th. Like, they are at the lows of the new day. S&P doesn't really look great, but it's not at, you know, it's at the lows of the day, I guess, but it's not lower than the lowest part of yesterday. So same with the NASDAQ. I'm going to show you real quick what I'm talking about. You see the Russ 2000, lows of day, lows of many months. Dow Jones, same thing, lows of 6+ weeks right now. Taking out all these lows that go back the 21st of this month. Bearish engulfing, fall through occurring. For now, you know, it could change. And then the S&P is down, but it's not lower than its lows of yesterday. Same with the S&P and the NASDAQ. So that's where we are currently. BlackRock sold today, almost 500 million. Did they? Yeah, probably had to make up for their losses on ACHR. They bought They bought $300 million worth of ACHR at $8.50, and it reported earnings today. And it is down after hours. Well, it was down 20%. It's only down 11% right now, but yeah, way below their cost basis at this point. Gross. Let's see here. I request LZ legal zoom. I thought there was zoom and then there's legal zoom. Have we even been to legal zoom? Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. My trading view was like freaked out for a second. Well, okay, it's cool. They've made some progress and a recovery, but long-term downtrend. Yeah, you see there's probably a complete, like a 1272 fib extension got tested and they recovered it off that. Well, they didn't even get to the 1272. Crazy. Okay, so recaptured a key level, then they reconfirmed it as support. This is what you want to see. Anything that any buyers recapture key levels, right? You see this level manufactured in 2022. This is the stuff you really want to see. 1 and 2, they hold it and confirm it as support. And look at the price action you get after they confirm an old support as support again after recapturing it. You know, it's up 13% today on earnings. Okay, congrats on earnings, but unfilled gap, and it wasn't that crazy. But I don't know if that's going to be a breakaway gap. But there is an unfilled gap around like $12. I think you just tested a support resistance from 2022, 2023, 24, 24. So you're just up against resistance. If they break that, I don't see why you couldn't have a good run to 1143, but what were you asking about it? Yeah, I mean, the issue is like this rally could continue, but what happens if it continues? They fill the gap, and then you just make another lower high, and you roll over to lower lows, and the long-term downtrend continues. It's never made a higher high, ever. Never made a real higher high than the previous major discernible swing high. It's always lower highs, so it's not a good chart. It's a very bad chart for wanting to take significant longs. It's not. It definitely wouldn't be an investment because you have no evidence that there's more than before, ever. S&P futures, I mean the U.S. futures, when I say U.S. futures, I mean all four. Lows of day. Low of day everything. Half of them are lows of many months. Bombardier. Oh, I don't really see it. I don't know what you're talking about. Bombardier, give me a ticker. Anyway, yeah, okay, that was the only request. Wow, holy crap. Times are tough, man. No more requests because market's tanking. Get wrecked, everyone. Yeah, you gotta imagine stuff like Shopify probably cooked. Look at this bearish engulfing candle today. This is just so extended, man. Look how far off the 200 you are. A gap fill would be so normal. 90 bucks, 87 bucks on Shopify. Man, that would be perfect. And then you get the highest low of the long-term uptrend. Like the mean of the uptrend is the demand line, and like that demand line is it's like 80 bucks, 78 bucks. Coming to fill gaps, getting closer to the demand line, coming back to the 200 moving average, coming back to a support around 88 bucks. Look left, that's there, and that would be normal. So you would think this needs some downside too, and then they pivot it and it runs again to all the higher high, the highest point of the whole uptrend going on for years now, but. Yeah, things like this are just, they need to pull back. Like for anyone to be able to articulate an argument for value of any sort, they have to pull back some. Paying premium up here. Okay, we've been live over an hour now. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit the like button, the bell, that's up. Thanks for being here. It's all quiet now because things have just gone real bad real fast. S&P off its highs by 5%. What's Bitcoin off its all-time high? Bitcoin off its all-time high by 23% in 38 days. In perspective, technically, Ethereum's down 20% in 3 days. They are not the same. What is this, Fortinet? Yeah, look at the ones like this, man. There's no edge, there's no structure, but mother of God, man, stuff like this, you'd think it's gonna pull back. But hey, whatever. Maybe it doesn't. Look at Square continuing to dump, man. Yeah, failure to break levels and confirmation of distribution locally. It's telling, and it pretty much implied what came next. Oh, we didn't look at the oh god, the quantum computing. Oh, we didn't look at MicroStrategy. I'm so sorry, dude. I would have looked at it earlier. MicroStrategy. Remember that 5% pump yesterday? Completely wiped out. Down almost 9%. Lowest daily candle close confirmed on MicroStrategy since the election, since November 5th. And still waiting on the 200 at 231. But really, I mean, no technical supports here. Probably till $200 for psychological reasons. And March 28th, then 174, 178 would be a really strong level. It would be cool to see some nice structures develop there. But then you just think about a low to high. What about the 886? That always looms and sucks in these situations. Like a big old M shape. That's 154. You'd have to wait for 154 for an 88% sale on MicroStrategy at this point. Really bloody stuff. So it didn't say like change the name of the company to just Strategy. So like I guess TradingViews pulling an AP, and like Trump changed Gulf of Mexico to America. TradingViews like, nah, he can call it Strategy all he wants, but it's still MicroStrategy here. Oh yeah. Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, we're gonna look at Coinbase. Oh god, dude. Lowest daily candle close since November 5th, and that gap fill. I am very confident this gap is gonna fill at 194. Yeah, right, dude. With this type of price action, this type of market conditions, you're trying to tell me that we're not gonna see 194 be tested at least once. Yeah, it probably come. And then you got to think about it. It's like MicroStrategy. We all see it. You all see the same phenomena that's been occurring on charts for 100 years. 886, full reset, value perceived area, 170. You just wait until we got there and then reassess the asset. And then it might not even hold, because the whole trend could be over. Good God. You just don't know. Look what they did. I mean, from this high to low, 88% retrace. That high to low there, 886, perfect level for a reversal. It's a big old M shape or W shape completing there. The lower high, not good.
Anonymous tip $26.18. Hey Mitch, can we take a look ATHM? Thanks.
What's up, Anonymous? Thank you. 2618, the deep fib extension contribution. Thank you. Let's go to it now. All-time high M. Autohome. Oh boy. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also like key swing low right there at 26.28. I like the price action. So clearly some sort of major zone between $22 and $26, right? You see the zone, testing and testing. It's similar-ish to Paramount. Like someone could construct an argument here, and I think you would have a stop loss at like $25. You'd have to. I think the downside's too great to go to 21.87. You just get wrecked. I mean, I think if you're falling below 26, 28 at this point, like after holding it, it's bad sign. But it's like, if they're really reversing this thing here, I don't know if you could get away with taking profit at 40. I don't think it's enough upside. Like if you were trying to create a trading plan on something like Autohome, could you get a 3-to-1? It's close, but you'd have to go to the very tip top for a 3-to-1 reward to risk. What was that? If it did that, you'd gain about 42% on your position. That's not bad. And then, okay, then fine. If that's target 1, then target 2 is certainly going to be $50. Right around there. That's probably the only way to size this thing up at this level. But you just got to think about how long it's been chopping. Been chopping for 1,142 days, spinning its wheels, going nowhere. But the whole argument behind maybe taking a shot now would be this variable, this technical event that occurred. Well, it's really both of them, right? As you can see, what's happened in the past at this level, right? That level was violated, and then it was recaptured, then reconfirmed twice. Then a rally and pretty much held up. Like they kind of defended this old low from 2013. When they recaptured that, it was gone back to $50. So that's the whole reason why it's kind of okay now, is just because you are identifying a real springback test of a level that can have some serious consequence. Straight up and down, up and down. So that's technology services, internet software services. Right, does that make sense? Like, I don't know if it's going to play out, but I do know, like, I wouldn't want to own it below $25, and in order to get a 3-to-1, I'd have to only be able to take profit at $41 and then $50, $51 after that. So that's maybe how one could size it up. Okay, just a thought. Okay, education. You think, okay, you don't want to own this? Fine. This is the same type of way you would size up any chart. Oh, is it Chinese? Is it from China? Hey, they make money though. Not much, but they do. Yeah, I don't know. You know, see, then the fundamentals are, it could be a scam. Well, like, whatever. It is Chinese? Okay, well then, okay, now I get it. Because it's like these other ones that they're at these really interesting levels, but they're not doing anything. IQ. They're not doing anything. It's time. It is time to rise or fail. Because again, you can have all the variables in the world, the best technical argument for a reversal, and it fails. And the longer you spend time at this zone when it should be reversing with the divergence, making lower highs, the argument's getting weaker and weaker by the day until we start seeing some pronounced rallies. This is it. This is where the bids should come in. And they've been trying and they're running. They just can't do anything. Back to support. So it's still a great area to, manage risk, of course, and enter, but you just don't know if they're going to come in and long this thing and take it at $5, because that'd be your target up there. Okay. So look, chat, things aren't good. Okay, at least starting out, look, U.S. futures at session lows. All of them. Every single one. Total didn't look good. The daily close on Bitcoin wasn't good. I'm hungry. Had a hard workout today. Yeah, not a good candle. I'm sorry. That's market participants were digesting the rout, and no real bids came in. And so, can't be surprised if we continue to descend with no real support looking left. All we got are some fib extensions, and they've been holding one. Yeah, it's just not a great time for crypto or any risk on. Okay, so thank y'all for the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. I'm tired, man. But the TA is being respected. And that's one thing you gotta love, okay? TA, respect. Wyckoff distribution. Hey, that was our our way of interpreting what it was, people would be like, nah, dude, it's not because my volume signature. But yeah, okay, well, how about the outcome? Was it not someone, a composite operator, was conducting a distribution campaign and we were identifying every single peak and the weakness of February, and here we are. So what, you can say whatever you want. Look, everyone's going to have their own interpretations about the market. You watch my stream because you appreciate the way I interpret it. Okay, they're going to man bun double top. Other people, they're going to have their Alex Cobb. They're going to think the way they do about the markets. Okay, I am just trying to apply stuff that I have been studying for like going on 15 years now, and that's it. Okay, people that were way smarter than me, you know, I've read all these books from them on technical analysis, and I'm just the conduit from them to you. That's how I'm interpreting it, from them to you. So, all right. Thank y'all for coming out. I'll just be back. Till next time, respect the TA.
Gentlemen in the mix.
Adios, turd nuggets.